On today's show, the Dallas Mavericks walked into their own demise against the Detroit Pistons, led to everything that led to them losing this game. D'Angelo Russell and more. Today's Locked On Mavs.
This is Cooper Flagg, and you're listening to Locked On Mavs.
Dog, on 5.
Explain yourself.
All these changes, I still got my dog Dwight Powell.
You are Locked On Mavs. Great, your daily Dallas Mavericks podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Still can't leave.
Your team every day.
I'm going to get a city like that.
And welcome to Locked On to the Dallas Mavericks, your team every day. My name is Nick Angstadt, media member covering the Mavs for 10 years. Thanks for being in every day, making Locked On Mavs your first listen in the Locked On Podcast Network, the #1 sports podcast network. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download Game Time app, create an account, and use that code Locked On NBA for $20 off your first purchase. And joining me, as always, media member covering the Mavs for 10 years, right alongside me, the Mexico maniac, the one more thinking. What you got for me, Isaac Harris?
All right, I got to give you a good moment before we dive into this dumb game. I had a great moment today watching Revenge of the Sith with my son, first time.
Yeah.
He's all into the story, and we have the moment.
No.
That spoiler alert.
Wait, hold on. Spoiler for everyone listening. If you've never seen,
I don't freaking care if y'all haven't seen Revenge of the Sith. Palpatine,
20 years ago.
Palpatine reveals that he is the Sith, and he tells Anakin to rise as Darth Vader. And dude, Roman, my son, his eyes, he's looking at me down the couch. He's the Sith Lord? Vader? And it's just, just one of those moments that is just etched into my soul forever. And I love it. Loved all of it until I watched this game. And then that just crushed me.
Hey, your kids are still there. You can go see it. They're probably sleeping. You can go
it's like, wake up.
Go look.
We have a new hope to watch.
Make me feel better about this.
We need a new hope. All right.
That's true. We need the vibes.
We need it.
Well, the new hope could come from just some coaching changes and the Mavs playing better, because I think they shot themselves in the foot in so many different ways in this game. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about D'Angelo Russell. We'll talk about Cooper Flagg. We'll talk about Daniel Gafford's return. All kinds of different things. The Mavs lose to the Pistons in Mexico City. And I think the Mavs led to their own demise in this game. Like the Mavs in the first three quarters, you saw like the limited turnovers. You saw them like being okay like in the paint. You saw them being able to hold their own here and there, being able to score here and there. D'Angelo Russell doing his thing, scoring the ball. He had 31 in this game, which was awesome. He kept them connected. 7 threes. Absolutely awesome. The Mavs desperately needed somebody to come out and hit some threes here. Klay also hit a couple. You had some here and there. And then the turnovers in the fourth quarter just destroyed them, I thought. Just absolutely took them out of the game. They had 7 turnovers in the fourth quarter. D'Lo had 3. Brandon Williams had 2. PJ had 2. And just over and over again, I thought the Mavericks just like got in their own way when it came to this fourth quarter. 17 points for them. And then on the other end, they had to start doubling Cade Cunningham because of various different reasons. I think D'Angelo Russell's defense was rough on him. I thought that they had Cade is just awesome. Their point of attack defense in general was just struggling against him. And Cade made every right pass out of those double teams. Finished with 18 assists and just picked the Mavs apart for that 17-4 run to end the game, because the Mavericks, the Mavericks had the lead in this game. We're talking about it like it's this doom and gloom, Mavs got blown out kind of game. But they had the lead with 4:51 left in this game. And they were only down by 3 with 2:30 left in this game. And then it was just a 17-4 run to end this game. And I think it was definitely the Pistons picked them apart, but I thought the Mavericks like really hurt themselves.
Yeah, this was, this was 3 quarters worth of, hey, both teams saying, hey, please don't let us play in the half court on offense.
Yeah.
Both teams do not want to play in the half court. Although Detroit, they do have Cade Cunningham who can orchestrate an offense. He's just gotten better and better. He's so good. I love watching him play when he's not playing our team. And but yeah, it was just this. I've been tracking quarters that the Mavericks score at least 30 points, which has not been a ton. The other night I tweeted out it was like 5 out of 21 quarters so far that hit the 30-point mark. So for 3 quarters, offense wasn't the issue for this team. D'Lo was running the ship. He's He's hitting shots. They were playing faster, not always hitting in transition buckets, but just playing at a faster pace, generating open shots. I think they went 10 of 27 from 3 in the first half. They were just like keeping up on the offensive side. Detroit wants to get out in transition too. And it's like you had both these teams. I wrote down both teams winded at halftime.
Oh, man. Everybody on the looked rough.
Yeah, and we were joking before, but like tough game for Gafford to come, start a season back on is just, he's not 100%. He starts this game in Mexico City, which is I think a couple thousand, or it's way over
2,000 feet higher than Denver.
Yeah, so I mean, the first thing Cade Cunningham says in his post game interview on the court is like, yeah, it's super high altitude, so we were feeling it tonight, and it's early in the season, but. It was just the fourth quarter. Everything hit a wall in the fourth. It's like the Mavs ran out of gas. It's like the offense went back to looking like it was going through mud. It was like they pieced things together and tried to make it work. Obviously, no AD, no Dereck Lively. Obviously, Kyrie's still out. And they didn't start a point guard. Exum. They didn't start a point guard again. And so they were forcing that crap again. And it's like you start the game and we're all just collectively like, we got to watch these first 4 minutes of this game with no point guard. Everybody in the world knew they were going to start Ausar Thompson on Cooper and just say, hey, just stay in his grill. Don't let him breathe without you smelling his breath. And Ausar's so good. And so, yeah, it got to the fourth. They lost it in the fourth, but it's like, congrats for staying there until the fourth. Because, shout out to D'Lo, man. I mean, D'Lo got hot. His confidence, he was feeling it. I mean, without D'Lo's points and he had to finish with a decent plus minus in this game. I was tracking that at one point.
-1.
Oh, -1.
Well, he was there. He was there at the end with a 17-4 run. So I mean, that's just like 13, just right off of that plus minus.
Yeah, because him and Dwight was the only plus minus or positive plus minus there for a while. So it was tough. I mean, the story of the game is the fourth quarter and then the points in the paint.
Well, I was going to say, the other story of this game, the fourth and then 72 points in the paint allowed by the Mavericks. Like Jalen Duren had 33 of them. He looked unstoppable in this game. And 33 points on 16 shots is wild for somebody.
He looked like prime David Robinson. All right. So
Grant Hill was like, this looks like all-star Amari Stoudemire going down the paint. I was like,
I mean, Dwight Howard. I mean, we could go down the line there. It's just, I mean, Cade kept. I mean, a lot of those baskets were easy baskets that Cade just was like serving up on a platter. It felt like Luka just serving up to whatever center he would play with in the past. But still, I don't want to take any credit from Duren. Duren's a solid, good, young, big in the league, and he played incredible. I mean, it might have been. I think Kuz said it might have been his best game of his career. So,
is that going to keep happening? These bigs are going to have the best game of their career against them. I guess as long as the Mavs bigs are out. But this was supposed to be paint defense was supposed to be one of their big strengths, and obviously with AD out, with Lively out, with Gafford limited, and coming into this game like in a really tough spot. They were going to struggle with that. The Mavs went small a bunch in this game, struggled there. Dwight I thought struggled here and there with the size. He had he had finished with 5 fouls, and Gafford had 4 in 18 minutes, under 18 minutes. Just the points in the paint were brutal for the Mavericks. And that gets fixed. Honestly, like, I don't feel that bad about that because that gets fixed with Anthony Davis and Lively coming back.
Yeah, that's why. I'm all about making fun of the defense wins championships. Heck, I kind of did a thing the other day, just like saying that Nico's vision is just kind of bullcrap. But the defense win championship, get it out of here. But I don't really care about hearing about it for this game because when you do build to win defense win championships in that vision, you're banking a lot of that off of a backline of AD and Dereck Lively, and they're not in there. So I'm not looking at a game like this and saying, ooh, defense win championships. Like, look, It didn't work tonight. Okay. But what I am looking at and saying, you needed to invest something on the offensive side of the ball because you got to have we can't go into a fourth quarter saying, man, if D'Lo misses some shots or does some turnovers, we really don't have anybody else out there that can create and make shots. That's a problem right now.
Well, coming up, D'Lo's game showed me exactly why you're right about that they needed to invest something, because everything worked when D'Lo was hitting shots. Talk about that coming up. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by Robinhood. It's robinhood.com/your money. Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. You play for the win, not just on game day, every day, locking in on every opening, beating your PR, then beating it again. Channel that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control of your money. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all on one platform. So now you can build and execute your own trades from a desktop on Robinhood's Legends Advanced tools. Or take advantage of the new Robinhood strategies with a tailored portfolio managed by a team of experts. You expect more from yourself, so expect more from your money. Get started today at robinhood.com/your money. Again, it's robinhood.com/your money. It's your money, your move. Also brought to you by our friends over at Game Time. Sports Equinox has ended with that insane World Series end, so we're not in the complete equinox, but there's still so much going on in sports. Still got college football. I was looking at SMU football tickets the other day, and I was like, ooh, the last game of the season was looking pretty cheap on Game Time. You can go check those out. Also, NBA games. You can go to Mavericks games for sure. I think they have Texas Legends games probably on there as well. You can go check out those as well if you want to see some basketball. All kinds of stuff on Game Time. I love that they show you the views from your seats. I love that they show you they have the zone deals that are game changer. You pick the section and Game Time picks your seats for you, so you save big. You can even find NBA tickets for under $25. Take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONNBA. That's all one word, LOCKEDONNBA, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, that's code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
Thanks for hanging out with us on Locked On Mavs, being part of the show, part of the Raccoon Squad. That's what we call our listeners, listening every day. We appreciate you for checking out the show and listening. We are talking about the Mavs losing to the Pistons, and for a lot of reasons, but one of them is that the offense was humming and going great. 30 points in the first three quarters, something the Mavs had not done all season, for sure. Had not scored 30 points in three quarters in a game.
Look at that.
I have to imagine. I've watched this offense.
Well, maybe the Toronto game, but
potentially the Toronto game. That's probably a good call. But then fourth quarter, 17 points. And you can see when there's a guy that can score, just one guy. Just give me one guy that can actually score and score 30. It makes it work. You see how everything else can work around it. They started to double D'Angelo Russell. Then all of a sudden, other guys can start creating stuff. Cooper Flagg got a couple of drives to the basket and got fouled in the fourth quarter. You saw that having to work. You saw PJ Washington get open for, a dunk off of a D'Angelo Russell pick and roll. Like, you see when things start to work for this Mavs team is when they have somebody that they can rely on to score. They just have not really had that, besides Anthony Davis getting some stuff down low, or, save a really good shooting like PJ Washington game he's had a couple times here and there. We just have not seen that at all so far. And so if the Mavericks had invested in like a really good, consistent, like
Kobe White,
somebody like that can score, then I think this would be a whole different story. You don't want your defense to depend on your offense, but you see what happens when you see what happens when the offense is actually competent.
Yeah.
Or did D'Lo just go off? Did D'Lo just go off tonight and that's it? 'Cause like 7 of 13 from three, like you can't expect that all the time, right?
No, like that's my thing. It's just like you had D'Lo have this like awesome offensive game, and you just didn't have another guy. Like PJ struggled a lot on the offensive side of the ball tonight. He was a plus 14 in the first half and ends up a -4 in the game. I think he missed all 6 of his threes. You can't really blame Klay in this, even though he was a -21 in his 20 minutes. But heck, they pretty much just like set him down. I think he only played like 6 minutes in the second half, and Max played probably 17, 18 in the second half. So, they end up going with Max a lot there. They put Klay at the very end for the last like 2 minutes of the game. And it's like, all right, we got to have some threes at this point. But it's just tough when you watch, you just watch you watch a Detroit team with a guy like Cade. Just been watching a lot of other random teams and stuff right now. And so many teams out there, like how Dallas was built in the past, have multiple people on the floor that can drive and create and all the stuff. And it's just Dallas just wasn't built like that. And it's tough. It's tough whenever like when you build a team like this and you know you're going to struggle offensively, but you're getting flamed on defense too at the same time. They put up 110 in this game, which is great for this offense right now. But they still gave up 122. I mean, Detroit's offensive rating had to be
123.2.
Yeah. I mean, so if you're built, which I get without AD and Lively, if you're going to be without those guys, then you at least got to have good teams got to win different ways. We've said this for years on this podcast that the really good teams win in different ways. And you can't be so reliant on AD and Lively missing games. So therefore, oh man, well, our defense is going to be bad and our offense is already bad. So it's tough.
Well, maybe the whole takeaway is that Nico built this team around 3 players that get injured all the time.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Kyrie, AD, and Lively. And it's like, all right, well, those 3 players are out. Then all of a sudden, it looks like this.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things about Nico's vision in this, and I just want to say this about Cooper again. And I don't care what y'all say if I'm taking up for him or not. Cooper's just not one of the main things for me right now when I'm looking at this team. Like, yes, is he playing at the best of his abilities right now? No. Does he look timid at times? Does he look uncomfortable at times? For sure. Would you love for him to be putting up at least 20 a game right now? Yes, that would be awesome. I'm just not like when I'm thinking about this Mavs, the problems with the Mavs right now. There is a lot of big things and bigger things than I think Cooper Flagg adjusting to the NBA. And on top of all of it, I still think he's just playing out of position. And they're like, it's just not what I don't think they're maximizing him the best way possible.
And on purpose. The coach has said they are doing that on purpose.
Yeah. So don't get like,
and like he scored
sacrificing
16.
Wins.
He scored 16. That's like 2 buckets off of 20. So if 20 was your threshold of like, oh, if he's not averaging 20, then I don't care about him. Then I don't know. Like
I'm not playing. I'm watching, just like you guys.
Then that's what you're doing. But I
get it's social media and it's YouTube and stuff, but it's like it never fails. After each one of these Mavs like losses this year, and it's like here comes the Cooper Flagg. Like, I mean, as soon as they lost, I mean, the buzzer hadn't even sounded, and I'm getting mentioned on the Flagg being the great white hype, and I'm like, what? How is this on Cooper? What are we doing?
Well, it's because he's white, Isaac. No, he has haters in a way that that a lot of stars in the NBA have had. He does not have stands in the same way that I've found, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, he does have a lot.
Play at Duke could get haters.
Well, honestly, I do think that is part of it. Like
JJ
Redick got them. Obviously, Christian Laettner got them. Like it just comes with the territory.
Jason Tatum.
Sure. He took the second most shots on the team, so it's not like he wasn't as aggressive. There are times I guess he could be more aggressive, but he took the second most shots, and he had a couple of really good drives in the fourth quarter where he went to the free throw line 8 times, more than anybody else except for Brandon Williams, and hit all of them. He had 8 boards. He had 4 assists. He had only 1 turnover. Like I thought he had a solid game, an impactful game, but it's not enough for this team. And that is the bigger problem than the play of Cooper Flagg. Is that this team depends so much on an 18-year-old to be impactful and go the extra, and be way better than you'd expect an 18-year-old to be. Like, can I remind everyone, Kobe Bryant averaged 7 points a game his rookie year when he was 18? Like,
yeah, they just don't. I mean, we've said it the other day. They just don't have an identity right now, and there's no identity with what the team is. And to be fair to them, they are missing Kyrie and AD, which would be so much of their identity. Obviously, missing Lively too. Gafford being like Hafford because he only was limited in minutes. Like that matters too. And so you are missing a bunch of big pieces, but the same problems that we've talked about all seasons. Like the identity is missing. They don't have, the offense is still trying to figure out what it is that you laid out the other day really well. Well, it's funny. Speaking of that offense, it's funny with D'Lo out there sometimes because D'Lo obviously likes playing the pick and roll and playing a high pick and roll. And a lot of times in this offense, the high pick and roll is not part of this Flo Brinston Triano offense.
On purpose.
And I wrote down there's this moment in the second half tonight. So a lot of the actions in this offense that they're trying to implement starts with the big coming up to like the free throw line or the top of the key. And they pass it to the big, whoever it is, Gafford, AD, Dwight. And in this instance, Dwight was the big in the game, and Dwight comes up, and they always pass it to Dwight. And then there's so many different actions you can do off of that, whether it's off Dwight, like a dribble handoff, like we've talked about a lot, DHOs, or you can do different actions with the other wings and stuff. Well, Dwight comes up to get the ball to start, start some of the actions in this offense, and D'Lo just waves him off and brings up PJ for this like high pick and roll, and Dwight just U-turns at the top of the key and runs right back down to like the paint or the block, and I'm just like laughing because I'm like, is this why D'Lo doesn't get in sometimes? Because it's like D'Lo's like, hey, like for me to be efficient, I need to run some pick and roll. I need to be running this high pick and roll, which is what we've been used to watching for so long. And then he was efficient in a lot of it tonight, and so yeah, I just laughed at that moment too.
Teams run that for a reason. Like every team runs it for a reason, right? You're talking about like the Grizzlies tried to do this. What was it last year? They tried not to run a whole bunch of pick and rolls, tried a different offense, and then John Morant revolted, and the coach got fired. And then now he's doing it again with a different coach. So maybe that's a different story for a different day.
The thing with that this offense too is that you don't like call a lot of plays, so a lot of it is just like depending on the players and high IQ players. It's what you want in this type of offense. So it's kind of like allows them to make the decisions. And sometimes there's some of these players that want like, hey, well, if I'm making the decision, let's go with something I'm more comfortable with.
Right. And then you get that.
They generated corner threes. Like they were generating.
That's true.
That's, I said in that pod the other day, this offense, you try to generate corner threes, layups, or shots at the free throw line. Like this is what this offense tries to create the most in. And even after that game the other night at home, AD's at his locker and he was like, we were asking about the fourth quarter there when Hardy and D'Lo had those good moments in the fourth. AD was like, yeah, we finally started getting into the corners. We started getting those corner threes. They try to generate those shots so much. The first bucket of the game for Dallas was them coming down and getting in transition, hitting Max Christie for a corner three. But tonight, PJ was missing those. Klay missed some. Like, if you're going to generate those corner threes, especially when you lack the creation that you don't have out on the floor and AD's out, you almost have to guarantee, a lot of those corner threes just being automatics.
They took 18 corner threes tonight.
It's a decent amount.
Against Indiana, which we were like, ooh, they generated more corner threes. They took 12. So, like, they took even more in this game than they did in that one. Coming up, I want to talk about Gafford and his return. What does he bring to the Mavericks going forward? So let's talk about him and more coming up. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by our friends over at Rugian. It's too easy sometimes for you to just be like, I got excuses. We don't have our star players in today. We just don't have it. It's the elevation. It's the elevation. I'm just kind of winded. All those kind of things. It happens to everyone sometimes, all kinds of excuses. But when it comes to performance, sometimes your body just needs a little extra support. Sometimes you just need it. That's where Rugiet comes in. Rugiet.com offers fast-acting, doctor-prescribed treatments for ED designed to help you stop making excuses and start making moves. Rugiet makes it easy to get started. You just get connected with a board-certified doctor 100% online. No awkward waiting rooms, no in-person appointments, which is important. This process is fast, simple, and private. You can't make noises like that while I'm doing this.
You say private?
While I'm doing this specific ad. And it's all handled by real doctors, all about confidence, connection, and getting back to the moments that matter. Visit Rugiet, RUGIET.com/LockedOnNBA to get 15% off your first order. Rugiet, RUGIET.com/LockedOnNBA. So you know that we sent you. Use that code LockedOnNBA. Rugiet, stop making excuses. Start making moves.
Make those moves.
Shut it down! Oh, let's go home!
All these changes, and I still got my dog Dwight Powell.
Still true. Still true. All right, Isaac, we're talking about the Mavs loss to the Pistons, and I want to talk about Daniel Gafford because he makes his return, first game of the season for him, and like you said, a very tough situation. He's playing, he gets the start, no AD, no Lively, And he's playing 7,000 feet in Mexico City, where everybody in any condition is going to struggle with this game. Everybody talks about it, how they struggle playing in Denver because of this. And this is 2,000 feet higher than Denver, 7,000 feet, which is just wild to me. I have been to like South America. You've been as well, where you get off the plane and all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh. We had a girl in our group that went with us, threw up as soon as she stepped off the plane because of how high the altitude is in Mexico. Just immediately got altitude
Tell her to
sickness.
put down the bottles on the plane.
As soon as we were in high school. So she definitely should have been putting them. She definitely should have been putting them down.
She traveled with B-Will.
But Daniel Gafford plays 17 minutes because kid said he was going to play under 18 minutes for his minutes restriction. 7 points, 4 boards, 3 assists, and 4 fouls. Struggled with Jalen Duren there a little bit, but I thought he played decent in this game. Gave him some size, and it was good to see him come back. And didn't feel like he really got going. And I think somebody like him is really going to struggle with this like Princeton offense. Like, where is his offense coming from if they're going to try and do some of the like the tenets of this offense that they want to try to run?
Yeah, it's tough. That's when, when they went away from after they made the trade. I mean, it sucks to always go back to the trade with some of this stuff, but it's like not just like the removal of Luka from the team, but it was just a switch to a whole different type of roster and offense. So it's kind of like this like moment for the Mavs of like BCAD here, or BTAT.
We're in the AD era right now for sure.
BTAT. So after the trade era here,
after they planted their flag.
Yeah. So whereas like, all right, well, the extension stuff is going to come up at some point for Gafford, and then it's like, all right, well, we did extend him, but he's still eligible to be traded and all this stuff, and that's why I kind of went into before the extension happened of like, all right, they're probably going to trade him, or right after the extension happened, they're probably going to trade him now, and because Gafford is like made to play with a Luka type, a point like a point guard running high pick and roll. This is why Gafford and Dereck Lively excelled. Dwight Powell has excelled with Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irvings of the past running this pick and roll stuff. So then you kind of like double down of like keeping Gafford and Lively, these pick and roll guys. Now I get the answer probably is, well, they're more than pick and roll guys. Well, that's what they excel at. And in order to be a big in this offense, like without AD, then you're going to be the guy that comes up and they like run the actions off of you. With AD, it's going to be a little tough probably for Lively and Gafford to get their buckets and stuff and get their lobs. It's going to take there's so much movement in this offense when it's working well that you're just hoping that a Cooper or a Naji or somebody is hitting the paint off a cut, and then it's a switch, it's a miscommunication. Then you're just getting a lob from one of them in the paint there. But yeah, I'm with you. Once again, that feels like this is a theme right now with, it doesn't feel like this type of system is maximizing certain players' like abilities. I'm with you. I'm a little worried about Gafford, even when he's rolling and like feeling fine and game shape and all this stuff, that this technical like system won't maximize the best of his abilities. So I'm with you on that.
Offense or defense, because they're going to do some switching. And so that's one thing he told us at Media Day is that he's got to get better defending on the perimeter. And that's something that I think they're going to ask him to do a little bit more, because they're going to try to attack somebody, and you're not going to pull up AD. You're not going to pull up Flagg necessarily. Like you're not going to pull up PJ. You're going to pull up Gafford. And like that is the spot that they'll probably look to, because guys can drive by him. And once you drive by him, then it opens up the defense for all kinds of different issues. And we've already seen those issues over and over so far, beginning of the season. Yeah, after seeing Gafford on the floor with this system, I was like, ooh, man, this may be a little tough.
Well, yeah, and I want to see him play with AD too. I mean, they're committed to running these two big systems and stuff. So,
and we saw the Houston half. And it went pretty. We're
about to see another half coming up with Houston. So
went pretty well with them on this one. So yeah, Gafford's debut was okay, but we'll see. We'll see what happens going forward. I'm not taking a lot where I'm like, oh, he looked terrible. I'm not taking that from this game, but I'm curious to see how he looks in this system going forward, I guess is the thing. I want to say Max Christie, I thought, played another great game. 33 minutes, hit 2 threes, 13 points, 6 boards, 5 assists. I thought he's had some great drives. That's the thing Kid really like called out. Like, I think, was it Kid that said it or Max said it? Like, Kid wants me to drive more. That's the thing he wants me to do next. And I think he's been doing that. And that adds just a little element to this offense that they really desperately needed. It feels like we're back to the 2018. We're like, can any of these wings do some extra ball movement? And in this case, they need the wings to do the ball movement first.
I mean, he's one of the, if you're drafting some of the positive things about the Mavs to start the season, he's definitely one of those things that you draft of like, hey, Max Christie has come out this season looking good and looking good enough to challenge, Klay for that starting spot. And we were saying the other day that, I think Max should stay in the starting lineup no matter when AD comes back and all of that. Can I point out another positive thing about tonight?
Yeah, you guys had a thing though.
Hey, one more thing. Yeah. I thought the court tonight looked amazing.
You liked it? You liked the
design?
Muertos? You liked the
great.
skull in the middle?
I loved it.
The paints weren't too busy for you?
No. That was great. Great stuff. Good job with the court and the whole presentation of that. Shout out to Followell being on the Peacock broadcast. I will say this. All right. I thoroughly laughed whenever, we have all these streams this year, and it's just like, pick your stream or pick your network that you're going to watch all these games on.
Don't cross them.
And it's like, all right, well, Amazon's tonight or ESPN tonight or this night, it's like
NBC,
whoever.
Peacock exclusive.
So it's like, I just watched the game last night, or some of the games last night, and it's like Dirk and Blake Griffin, and it's like, man, this is a lot of fun. And the ones the other night, it was like Vince Carter and T-Mac, and you got all these like cool things. Well, then tonight goes to halftime, and it's Robbie Hummel and Austin Rivers. I'm like, what in the Dollar General brand halftime show is this? I was like, what? How did what is rolling? What are y'all rolling out right now?
Not for Glenn Rivers' son.
I'm like, my gosh, this was what a difference between the.
Well, because it was the only Peacock exclusive game tonight.
Wonder why. I thought Followell and Grant Hill did great, and but no, I thought that was funny for me, but
not as much Spanish from Followell as I thought we were gonna get.
No, he doesn't want to flex on him too hard.
He could have though.
I also just found myself too, whenever I was getting frustrated at times, I just think of like other storylines in this game. I just think about the Thompson brothers, and I go back to that draft and
Klay and Trace.
No.
Oh, because
I just think
Trace played for the Dodgers.
So many people didn't know what to do with those guys in the draft, and I was one of them. I didn't know. Like, you've seen all of the athletic stuff, all of the just like, holy crap, they're so athletic. But you're like, all right, it feels like you've seen athletic guys before. So are you just going to ride this athleticism? Neither one of them really had a shot. So it's just like, are they going to be really good in the league, but like not have this outside shot in their game? And so much of that boils down to, will these guys commit to being elite defenders? And that's what's like, I think, so hard to like judge with prospects going to the league, is like, will they be willing to commit to being that lockdown, one of the best wing defenders in the league? And I'm it feels weird saying I'm just so happy for him. I am happy for him though, because I think they're both considered two of the best wing defenders in the league. They're both just a menace on defensively. I think he's a great pairing with Cade and Duren and those guys. And I love watching both of them playing. And I was just thinking back to that draft. I was like, dude, y'all are the biggest wild cards. They went to overtime elite route too, and it's like no one really knew what to like do with them. And they're just proving that, hey, the super athleticism is working in the league, and it's working for them. So I'm happy for them.
Who has made more threes this season, Ausar or Amen?
Probably Amen, right?
Amen is 0 for 10, and Ausar is 2 for 9.
Ausar shot that free throw tonight, and it was one of the worst bricks I've ever seen on a free throw in a long time. I was like, dude, with the Mavericks rim mics, that could have been hurt. That could have been hurt up in Frisco.
That would have hurt somebody. Like if they had hearing aids, it would have like injured them.
It's like, whoa, somebody fire off something in here. So shout out to the Mavs though. Have a Rockets game coming up, so that should be good. Excited for that one.
Well, the Rockets haven't been like world beaters so far this season. It's not like they're gonna just like destroy them.
No, similar struggles, with like the creation stuff and all that. But they got to figure out some defensive stuff, man. Like I'm laughing because they're not great defensively right now. If they were going into this game and they were like living by the Nico vision of defense wins championships, and we're like, man, they're just killing it defensively right now, but the offense is struggling. But man, both sides are struggling. So that's why it's just like, all right, well, hope someone else gets hot. Because AD's not going to play in that game either.
Can I come up with a new concept here at the end of the show?
Oh, please do.
The Mavs have 3 sides of the ball.
Uh-oh.
The Mavs, it's not a special team. The Mavs have an offensive side, a defensive side, and an injury side. That's the third side of the ball. The medical side.
Good.
They're struggling on the medical side of the ball too. Like that is the third dimension to this team. It's like that one's not surprising, but they are still struggling on that. Anthony Davis is. Are we allowed to say what his designation is?
What do you mean?
He's day to day.
He's not day to day. That's bullcrap.
Well, they're going to evaluate him after 2 games, so I guess that's not day to day.
He's not day to day. Like, no, I don't. That I said this on our subtext the other day. This is why you got to wait for the injury report to come out.
Yeah.
You got to wait for the official stuff to come out. You can't you just can't buy Kid and AD and they're like, he's doing better. He's day to day. And then it's just like literally hours later, this is what he has. And he's going to be out of minimum 2 games and reevaluate after. I'm like, that's not day to day. Like,
well, the Kid, I thought he had some medical history. Kid.
I'm not a doctor, so I don't know.
And wait, I thought he told the truth all the time.
I don't always tell you guys the truth.
Is he sorry that he didn't play D'Angelo Russell more to begin the season?
I have to apologize that you felt that he should have played more.
He did.
You might not have this one. I'm just glad that he's got Cooper right now because he just wants to get underneath the hood and touch the car.
I don't have that one anymore.
I'm not playing. I'm watching, just like you guys.
I don't have the car one anymore. The car one is about Luka. I'm not doing that one anymore. But yeah, Anthony Davis. I mean, who knows what's going on with him? They'll evaluate him after a couple of days, and we'll see.
Calf strains, man.
I mean, it took down the last team. It's going to take down this one too.
Like, I don't want to be like super negative about it, but it's like of all the random injuries, of all like the strains you could have, the one that scares me the most over the last like 5 years is calf strains, because there's the calf strains that players play too soon on and it leads to a bigger injury. There's the lingering aspect of it too. We've dealt with it with Luka, different stuff with that calf that he's, injured different times. I just hate that it was a calf strain. Anyway, let's go to bed. It's Saturday night.
Thanks so much for listening to Locked On
calf
Mavs.
strains
Hanging
anymore.
out with us. Check the QR code links in the description for different ways to follow the show. Guys, thanks for listening to Locked On Mavs.
Explain yourself. Sorry.
Peace out.